Welcome. Take a slow breath, allow yourself to become quiet inside, and enter a space of listening that is not merely mental but receptive, open, and aware. This book you are about to approach is not a collection of ideas. It is not a philosophy in the conventional sense. It is not spiritual entertainment. It is a field of transformation, a living transmission that invites you to see reality differently, to experience yourself differently, and to ultimately to become different. Today I will gently open the gateway for you, not to explain the book, but to help you feel its inner current. The deeper purpose of this work is to restore clarity where confusion has become normal. Humanity lives surrounded by spiritual language, religious forms, philosophical systems, psychological models, and yet most people remain internally fragmented, energetically depleted, and extensionally disoriented. This teaching addresses the root of that condition. It seeks to unite what has been artificially separated: mystical experience and metaphysical understanding, spiritual aspiration and energetic reality, inner transformation and universal law. It is an invitation to conscious participation in evolution, not passive belief, but active becoming. At the heart of this book lies one central recognition. Spiritual development is not random. It follows precise laws. Just as physical transformation follows physical laws, inner transformation follows energetic and metaphysical principles. Many traditions cultivate mystical experience, but few provide the scientific understanding that allows conscious mastery of the process. Without understanding energy, balance, and structure, spiritual practice becomes trial and error. With understanding, it becomes a precise path. The union of mysticism and metaphysical science forms one of the core pillars of the teaching. Another profound theme running through the work is the inner nature of reality itself. Reality is not fixed but structured, not rigid but responsive to consciousness, energy, and intention. The book invites you to understand existence in terms of fundamental energetic principles, especially the interplay of the elements, the structure of consciousness, and the primordial field often called Akasha. Akasha is described not as emptiness but as potential, not absence but perfect equilibrium, not nothingness but undifferentiated being. To approach this understanding is to begin sensing the creative source behind manifestation. To refine consciousness toward the stillness is to touch divine awareness itself. This is not symbolic teaching, it is experiential. As you move deeper into the initiatory field of this work, you begin to encounter a radically honest diagnosis of human condition. Human beings suffer not primarily because of external circumstances, but because of energetic deficiency. Lack of inner refinement, lack of higher quality emotional and mental energy, disconnection from nature, from inner guidance, and disconnection from unity. When inner abundance is missing, behavior becomes driven by compensation, striving, control, fear, selfishness, and conflict. Spiritual training therefore becomes not moral instruction but energetic elevation. Transformation is the increase in quality and quantity of conscious energy. Perception refines, and perception refines, understanding expands, When understanding expands, compassion arises naturally. And when compassion arises, unity is remembered. This is the real psychology of awakening. Another major initiatory movement within the book concerns the expansion of limitations. Human beings live within comfort zones, psychological, emotional, intellectual, and energetic. These boundaries feel safe, but they are also prisons. Growth always requires expansion beyond the known. The spiritual path is therefore not merely inspiring, it is demanding. It requires courage, discipline, endurance, sincerity, and sustained practice. It asks you to release illusions, question inherited beliefs, and face the unknown within yourself. Yet through this expansion a paradox emerges. As limitations dissolve, a greater stability appears. As identity loosens, a deeper identity emerges. As personal control is surrendered, mastery is gained. Ultimately, the seeker enters what may be called the divine comfort zone, unity with the whole. The book also reveals a penetrating insight into modern life. Much of what humanity considers progress is actually distortion. The original purpose of many aspects of life has been replaced by artificial motivations, especially the pursuit of profit, status, and superficial gratification. Food no longer serves vitality. Medicine no longer serves healing. Institutions no longer serve truth. When intention becomes distorted, consequences inevitably follow, individually and collectively. Spiritual awakening therefore includes the restoration of original purpose, to rediscover the natural sense of things, to live in alignment with reality rather than manipulation of appearances. This restoration is both ethical and energetic. Another powerful teaching within this work concerns simplicity. Reality appears complex, but its source is simple. Problems multiply when we remain at the surface of complexity. Solutions arise when we return to underlying unity. The intellect seeks endless analysis. Consciousness seeks direct realization. True understanding comes not from argument, but from experience. Practice replaces speculation. Embodiment replaces theory. This shift marks the transition from seeker to initiate. The book also guides the reader toward one of the great aims of spiritual development: conscious influence over inner and outer reality. A refined being is not helpless before circumstance. He can transform emotional states, regulate energy, direct attention, restore balance, and respond creatively to life. This is not control in the normal sense. It is alignment with universal law. Mastery arises when inner structure harmonizes with cosmic structure. Freedom is the natural consequence. Throughout the work you will also encounter reflections on religion, belief systems, reincarnation, human development, moral distortion, and the psychological mechanisms that shape perception. Yet these are not presented as abstract discussions. They are mirrors. Each theme invites self-examination. Each idea invites practice. Each insight invites transformation. Who is this book for? It is not for the merely curious. It is for those who sense that life must be deeper than social rules and material pursuits. For those who feel an inner calling toward refinement, clarity, truth, and conscious evolution. for those willing to take responsibility for their development, for those who understand that awakening is not granted but cultivated. In our modern time, marked by distraction, fragmentation, and spiritual confusion, teachings that unite knowledge, experience, and energetic reality are not luxuries. They are necessities, and humanity stands at a threshold. Either consciousness expands or suffering deepens. The path of refinement is not optional for the evolution of awareness. It is inevitable. The only question is whether one walks consciously or unconsciously. This book is a doorway, a map, a mirror, a training ground, and above all an invitation. Invitation to remember what you are, to refine what you carry, to awaken what sleeps, and to embody what is eternal within you. If you feel resonance, approach the book slowly. Read not only with the mind, but with presence. Practice what calls you, observe what changes, and allow transformation to unfold naturally, step by step. And if you wish to go deeper, you may study the complete teaching within the book itself. You may enter structured initiatory training through four mystics, or you may walk the path in living continuity within Ordo Mysticus, a field of conscious evolution and inner mastery, not as a follower but as a sincere student of truth. May your path be guided by clarity. May your practice be supported by strength. May your consciousness awaken to its divine origin. And may you walk the path of spiritual perfection consciously. In love, light, and service, I am Ray del Sol.